Well, hello, my name is Al Thorup, Executive Director with the Indiana Mortgage Bankers Association. And I'm here today with Ryan Woodruff, who's Vice President of Mortgage Lending at Teachers Credit Union and a past Future Leaders student. And we're going to talk briefly this afternoon about the course and his experience in it and the fact that he sent some of his people to this course afterwards. So Ryan, with that, briefly share with us your history in mortgage banking.
Sure. I started out in banking as a whole in 2009, actually right after the last mortgage crash. So I didn't have to live through that on the banking side. I got to come out on the bright side when things were starting to recover. Started out in retail banking, ran financial centers, did investments for a little while, got a couple of promotions, ran multiple financial centers, and at one point in time, we had a lot of turnover amongst our mortgage staff, and they needed to revitalize it. We had a lot of longtime folks that retired, and so they said, well, hey, we like what you did on the retail side. Can you do that in mortgage? I didn't know a lot about mortgage. I had done a lot of consumer lending, consumer underwriting, things like that, a lot of sales. And they said, well, hey, try your hand at this. So went onto the mortgage side, brought in some staff. Got lucky with a couple of people, had some turnover with a couple of people, just was able to get through some refinances and some purchase booms, and that's kind of how I got in, and I've been in ever since. I'm not sure I'm ever going to be able to get out.
Yeah, it sort of does get in your blood, that's for sure. Well, you and I met in 2016 when you got into the Future Leaders program at that point in time. Was there anything in particular that when you saw the marketing for this, you said, boy, I've got to go there?
I did. Honestly, it was the exposure to so many industry leaders. So I came in the back way. I didn't come in through origination. I came in through the leadership side. And the goal was to kind of use some of the skills I developed in other areas to support mortgage. So one of the things that I struggled with is everybody I was responsible for, right? People that looked to me for leadership, people that looked to me for value, they knew more than me. And no matter how much I read, no matter how much I learned, there's just so many things, certain things you can only learn from experience. And I looked at all the leadership and all the people that were going to be presenting and all the topics they had. And I thought, man, what a great way to get exposure to just decades and decades of leadership in a short time period. And so I thought I would just get some takeaways. But boy, was I wrong. I mean, that class changed my life. I felt in just the time I spent in that, I honestly came out feeling like I had years of experience, and the speakers were dynamic. It was a great mix. I just learned so much in a short period of time. Now I was really geeked about it. I went in wanting to take a lot away. My motivation for going through the class, and it's called Future Leaders, my motivation was to make myself better for the people I'm responsible for. I wanted to make sure I was valuable to them and to other people. So that was really what my focus was.
All right. Well, thanks, Ryan. And one of the big assets that we have with this program is the speakers. With all the years experience they have, it's literally hundreds of years experience in mortgage banking that comes across in each one of these classes. Was there any particular section or module that was most important for you, or anything that really you walked away from, and more so than others, you said, wow, that was really valuable for me?
You know what, I took what I got that I didn't expect was the engagement of the class. While it was presentation, I expected lecture format and just to take notes and kind of crash courses in each specific thing. But the experience that was in the room, the experience that was in the group, it really prompted great questions that helped me apply the things I was learning. That's probably my biggest takeaway, is that I didn't expect, is that engagement was really good. I learned way more about secondary market than I ever thought I would learn or apply. That was great. But just overall, I learned a lot about title and production and the flow of a loan and underwriting and what's good and what's not good. And then it all wrapped up and paired well with secondary market, which kind of pulled it together on why we do all the things that we do. It was really that was really my biggest takeaway. It was like Mortgage 101. I felt like I finished in that short time. I felt like I finished a full year of a college course. That's the level of information I felt I took out of it.
Good, good. Well, and we designed this so that these modules present the entire mortgage industry, albeit in a concise, compact training, but it covers every area from A to Z. And you mentioned, the other students that were in there. We are blessed by having students that have quite a few years experience in some cases. Some of them are brand new, but with the group projects that we've had now for the last few years, that provides a great opportunity for students to interact much more with themselves. And they find that that's a very valuable part of this program. The last question I have, I think I know the answer to this, but would you recommend this course to others? And if so, why?
It's really beyond recommending. I feel like, especially for the folks that I work with, and I've had the privilege of working at a couple of places. Since then, I took the class 6 years ago. I'm even more passionate about it now that I've been able to expand my responsibilities. I almost feel like it's a requirement. There's just no other forum that provides this style of learning. And it's not just for brand new people to the business. It's varying level. I talk a lot about attending training, and people are like, well, man, I already know that. Well, the thing is, when you go to a training, you either learn something new or you get validation that you already knew it, which builds confidence. Regardless, you take something positive away. And there could be people that they might know about certain topics that are presented, but it's great to hear it again, because you'll either learn something new or you'll realize you knew it. And so that builds confidence. Anybody in a leadership position, anybody that's responsible for others, that's really how I look at things. If you're in a leadership position, you're responsible for other people. I feel this is something that people should go through. The expense is very fair. The time commitment is very fair. But at the end of the day, what it gives to these people is immeasurable. And anybody who's in a leadership position or anybody who's responsible for others that goes to this class, it's going to do that as well. I absolutely got everything I wanted out of it. I wanted to be more valuable to the people I was responsible for, and that's a mission accomplished.
Well, thank you so much for those words there, and we're glad you got so much out of the course, and we expect to be able to do so again coming up this spring. And with that, thank you so much for your time, Ryan, and we appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Al. Thank you.